Hi, this is Christy Matthews with Keto Fit and Trim, and I've got a very simple way for you to calculate your macros. Now, this is probably one of the most difficult things for people when they start the ketogenic diet. So I've got a chart here. I got the whiteboard again, and here I will show you just some very simple ways to break down your macros. So before we get started, let's clear up a few misconceptions that you're going to hear all out on the internet about how to lose massive amounts of weight on keto. And you can do that, but it's going to take some time just because it's almost impossible to make some of the weight loss claims that have been made out there just due to your metabolic process, your own individual metabolic process. So let me share some facts with you so we put it all into perspective here. Okay, so if you take your current body weight, and if you're not a very active person, it's going to take about 13 calories per pound for you to maintain your weight. And that's for a woman, okay, or a man, I should say. If you're active, having some exercise, probably more than some, maybe some vigorous exercise, you're looking at about 18 calories per pound. That's to maintain your current weight. So obviously, if you're going to lose weight, you need to cause a calorie deficit. And I know, listen, I'm not going to go into calories here, but we have to have a place to start. Okay, keto, you don't count calories. You don't need to, because the way calories are burned and the type of fuel source, but we need to have a place to start. So other facts you need to know. 3,500 calories equals 1 pound of fat. So if you're going to lose, say you want to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week, just to lose 1 pound a week, you have to burn or reduce your calorie intake or burn it an additional 3,500 calories. That's 500 calories a day, either deficit reduction, you reduce your calorie intake, or you have to increase your physical activity. And most of the time, you know, if you are an older person, increasing your physical activity when you're not healthy is not possible. You might be able to go out and walk, but you may not be able to do the vigorous activity that you need to do to get that calorie deficit. So what you have to do is consume less, all right? Now, if you're going to lose 2 pounds, that's 7,000 calories. So unless you're marching and you're in the military or something like that, or an athlete working out, you're not going to burn those calories. I'm just being real with you. So the realistic weight loss goal is about 0.5 pound to 2 pounds a week. This is after your first initial weight loss. So when you start keto, and basically almost any kind of diet, you're going to be losing a lot of liquid and things that you've just been carrying around that your body hasn't released. But to talk about pure fat loss, it's 0.5 pound to 2 pounds a week. That's just the way it is. All right, so just think about it. It took a while to get here, to get to your current situation. It's going to take some time to correct it, but it's going to take far less time for you to correct the situation than it took for you to get in the situation. That I can promise you. So let's talk about, what are the basic ranges. For women who are, say, in the 30 to 50-year-old range, your caloric intake needs are about 1,800 to 2,400 calories a day to maintain your weight. If you're a man in the same age group, 30 to 50, you need about 2,200 to 3,000 calories a day. We are just different. Men and women are different. The way we are structured, our bones, our muscles, it's just the way it is, folks. I know it seems unfair, right? But this is the way what we're dealing with. This is all facts. So let's go ahead and put this into some perspective here. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the whiteboard now and show you how to do this. And I do apologize for this little light here that you're seeing. I apologize for that, but I can't do anything with that. That's my light. Now what happened to my pen right here? Okay, so remember, keep this in the perspective here. You got 3,500 calories equals a pound of fat. And if you're going to lose 1 pound a week, that's a deficit of 500 calories a day. So I wanted the math to be easy for you. So this might be a little bit lean for some women, but on average, let's say 1,500 calorie a day is what you're going to target on keto, okay? And for a man, 2,000 calories a day. Now, and honestly, you really don't want to get down much lower than this because there's just some things that have to happen in your body and it needs fuel. I think that this is actually probably the minimum you're going to want to get to, but that's just me. All right, so remember, we want to keep our macros in mind here. Remember, the macros for keto is 75% fat, okay? You're going to have 20% protein and 5% carbs. You like my little pie chart there? Okay. All right, so keeping that in mind, and how you do this is that 1,500 calories for women, you're going to divide that or times that by 75%, and that's going to give you 1,125 calories a day that you get to consume in fat. And this is where the satiation occurs, okay? 20% is going to be 300 calories from protein. And I know you probably think, that's not enough protein. I'll talk with you about protein another time, okay? This is plenty of protein, promise you. Okay, 5% carbs is 75 carbs a day for women. That's it. So how do we break that down? So a calorie of fat is 9 calories, protein is 4, and carbs are 4. So what you're going to do, you're going to take 1,125 times 75%, and that's going to give you 125 grams of fat that you can have a day. Let's assuming that you're having 3 meals a day. That means 42 grams of fat per meal, 25 grams of protein per meal, and 6 grams of carbs. Okay? And eventually we're going to talk about how to get this down to where we're going to reduce this and go into some intermittent fasting. There's some major health benefits for doing so. And quite frankly, intermittent fasting, I believe, is one of the key reasons why I have less difficulties with fibromyalgia. Like I said, it's there, but it's not debilitating me like it used to. Okay? So we'll talk about intermittent fasting another time. Let's talk about the man's side now. Man, 1,500 calories a day of fat, 400 in protein, and 100 in carbs. Your calculations are, and I did all of this ahead of time, so I didn't have to keep you on this video for so long. That's 167 grams a day of fat, 100 of protein, and 25 of carbs. And that breaks down per meal. If you're eating 3 times a day, 56 grams of fat per meal. That's a lot, folks. 33 grams of protein per meal and 8 grams of carbs per meal. Okay, so I hope that that clears some things up for you. And so a couple other things I want to put in your mind. As you move on with the ketogenic diet, you're going to be making some adjustments. There's going to be plateaus that you're going to run into. And those plateaus require some troubleshooting. And the troubleshooting can be that maybe you just need less than what you were getting when you were at a heavy weight. Makes sense, right? The other things could be happening is that maybe you're not consuming enough because, as you could see, for a woman who's getting 42 grams of fat in a meal, that's a lot of fat, and it's pretty hard to hit those numbers. And so if you're not working within your macros, it can actually prevent you from losing weight as well. So I hope that this helped you out and helped clear it up. I know it's called keto macro calculation easy? And it is, when you just put it into perspective and just try, rather than counting calories, because that's kind of a bust anyway. When you're counting your macros, you're going to have much greater success there. I promise you, it worked for me. And like I said, it took me a year to get 70 pounds off. And you know what? I'm still losing a little bit here and a little bit there as my body continues to normalize and find its perfect weight. Everybody's got their own perfect weight set point, I should say. Okay? I hope that helped. So, ask a question. Did this help you clear up any questions that you might have about calculating your macros? If it did, would you leave me a comment down below and like and share this video if you think it will help somebody else? And I've got a free giveaway for you. I have a Keto Basics ebook, which is available to you. All you have to do is ask or leave it in the comments, and I'll send you a copy. All right, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.